So that's 2 Holy Knights down, 1 to go. This level isn't very long, or at least not until we reach the bosses, but the bosses more than make up for it. This initial area isn't anything special. There's a whole lot of wooden barriers we can take down that we don't need to. And there's a whole lot of archer towers to take down that we also don't need to. So we're probably not going to mess with those. The only thing we really do want out of this area is more undead. Because we do need a couple for what's coming up next. I tried to time that, so I slammed the undead into the ground right as those guys charged. Because that is possible and it looks really cool. But it's hard to do. But if you really wanted to, you could skip this first area altogether. Just really run right past it and use a couple undead on this door over here. We have more than a couple, though. But this is one of those rare situations where the main gate can be taken down without doing anything else first. We do have a mini-map up there in the top right corner in case you didn't pay it any mind yet. And it can be useful to see where your zombies are sometimes if there's a lot of obstacles in your way. But not good for very much outside of that. I just realized this game has a pretty massive amount of bosses for how short it is. I'm not sure what it is about short Japanese games and having tons of bosses. But some games that you would think can't afford to have a ton of bosses still do. Like Silhouette Mirage has, I think, 20 bosses? Granted, you can only fight some of them on a second playthrough. So to take this bridge down, we just need to hurl 3 undead at it like it were a big enemy. It's not too hard to aim. They practically home in on the bridge. There is a button to pull your undead towards you or like command them to come towards you, but I always forget what it is, so I end up grabbing at the air. Get up.
So, it would seem 2 of the Elite 3 are not so elite after all. But you will find me worthy of the title, monster. I am Francesca, daughter of our knight captain, Gerard. And I will purge you from this land for my father and the queen.
Francesca here is the last of the Holy Knights, and she has my favorite gimmick. We'll get to that after we get a suitable amount of zombies. She won't attack us until we move forward. And that's a hint from the game. You want to stay back and get some zombies first. Probably the maximum amount if you can. Because she's kind of a doozy if you don't know how to deal with her. So, after we do get enough zombies, we want to make sure we have a clear shot to point the zombies at her. If there's too many soldiers in the way, our zombies will get distracted and won't go toward her. Like all other human enemies, she can get stunned by zombies, but she's stunned a lot easier than the other knights because she's a lot smaller, which means it's a lot easier to put the hurt on her. Unfortunately, when the hurt isn't being put on her, she is one of the only characters that attacks us instead of our zombies. Instead of the other characters, which are easily distracted by our zombies, she goes right after us. And it's impossible to escape from her, more or less. She's very fast. But if you have the maximum amount of zombies before fighting her, you should take a minimum amount of damage. Note that what's happening to me right now is what I consider a minimum amount of damage from her. She is very fast. So this fight seemed really unfair the first time I played it, but after I figured it out, it wasn't so bad. And I actually really like her gimmick, because it takes away something you normally rely on. It's pretty fun. Now, if you're a normal person who only plays games once or twice, you might want to refill your health for what comes up next, because it can be pretty tough. And by refill your health, I mean turn more people into zombies, of course. Because that's what you always do. So here we need to kill a certain amount of enemies to open the door. Not that many though. I think a single Muso attack should do it. If I can activate it.
It's as I feared. Francesca. Come then, and name yourself Blood.
You know who I am, and what I'm here for.
I did not ask for this. It was you lot that came to me, blaspheming Her Highness with your stories of her manipulating the king.
Which you passed right along to His Majesty like a good little doggy.
Yes, I betrayed you. You have every right to judge me. But the others, my Francesca, how many more innocents must die? If I fall, will you cease your mad crusade?
Look at me. What do you think? Do I look like I want to make nice?
Then I have no choice. I must give myself to her power.
Say hello to Nephilim, or Gerard, as his former self was called. In order to take out Nephilim, we need to hit him 3 times with zombies to stun him. Of course, that's not always easy. His attacks do deal massive damage to us, and one of them is even ranged. Even getting zombies on him can be quite a trial, because he can hit us while we're holding the zombie, and it will still knock us over. He has 3 notable attacks. He can spit acid on the ground, which, ow, avoid that. He can swipe his claw, which, ow, avoid that. Those 2 you can avoid by staying far away. His ranged attack is not so simple, but you can easily dodge it or just scoot out of the way slightly. Something you might not know the first time you fight this boss is that while you're in the animation for throwing your zombie, you can take a lot more hits before falling over. And this is a deliberate choice because you will eventually get knocked out of that animation. It just takes a lot more damage. So we can throw zombies at Gerard much easier if we just tank his attacks.
What have you done?
Now you've seen the true horror of Fatima. Behind her lies a power not of this world. I betrayed you. Not because of any blind faith in the Queen, but because I was afraid. Afraid of the power she wields.
Enough. Die in peace.
Run. Fatima's vanguard, the walking dead, will come for you. She has forsaken this land.